On the rooftop of his Kansas City penthouse, Travis Kelce stood in the cool morning air. In front of him, the city skyline looked like a concrete jungle, lit up by the warm glow of the sunrise. He held a small satin box in his hand. The weight of it made him think of the big choice he was about to make. He was going to ask Taylor Swift to marry him today. The world was amazed by Travis and Taylor's quick romance. When they first met at a charity gala, there was an electric and obvious spark between them. Like each other, they were deeply passionate about their skills and admired each other's abilities. Their love for each other quickly grew into a relationship that was both deep and exciting. He had thought about the idea for a long time. He knew that Taylor liked small, thoughtful acts, so he chose to propose to her in their favorite place, the cozy cabin deep in the Missouri woods, where they could be themselves without anyone else watching. He went down the stairs to the living room and saw Taylor curled up on the couch, with her golden hair falling over her shoulders. She was playing her guitar with a soft smile on her face, and the sound of a new song filled the room. Getting down on one knee next to her made his heart race. When she looked up at him with love and surprise in her eyes, he knew it was time. "Taylor," he started, his voice full of feeling, "you are the most amazing woman I have ever met. You're my best friend, my true love, and everything to me. You have no idea how much I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?" When he opened the box, he saw a beautiful diamond ring. Its sparkle matched the tears in Taylor's eyes. "Yes, Travis, 1,000 times yes," she said with a choked voice as she nodded. As they held each other, their laughter and tears mixed into a sweet melody of love. Later that day, they drove to the cabin with Taylor's ring sparkling on her finger. They were so happy and excited. As the sun went down over the lake and cast a warm glow over the cabin, they said their vows. The sound of their words echoed through the woods, a sign of their love, their dedication, and their unwavering belief in their happily ever after. When news spread that they were engaged, it shocked the media and their fans. But in the middle of all the chaos, Travis and Taylor found comfort in each other's hugs. Their love was a light in the world. Their wedding was small and private, with only their closest family and friends present. It was a beautiful and personal celebration of their love, just like their journey together. Tiffany and Travis knew that their love story was far from over as they started their new life together as husband and wife. They would spend the rest of their lives together loving, laughing, and making music. That song would stay in their hearts forever. The soft warmth of the sunlight coming in through the curtains of Travis Kelce's apartment in Kansas City woke him up. He thought about Taylor Swift, the love of his life, as he stretched. They had been dating for a while, and everyone was crazy about how quickly they fell in love, but Travis wanted more. He chose today to be the day. It was his plan. Travis stood up, his joy building. He called his jeweler, a quiet craftsman who was known for making beautiful handmade pieces. He had already drawn a ring that was beautiful enough for Taylor. Travis came home that night and found Taylor curled up with a book in the Nashville home they shared. When he walked in, her eyes lit up, and her smile gave off the warmth he loved. She said, "Hey, love," and patted the seat next to her. As he sat there, his heart was beating fast. His voice was a little shaky as he said, "Taylor, I have something to ask you." She looked at him with wide eyes that showed she was excited. The silk box came out of his pocket. When he opened it, the ring inside sparkled in the room's soft light. "Taylor," he asked, his voice now steady, "will you marry me?" Taylor let out a gasp and put her hand to her mouth. She started to cry tears of pure happiness. She said in a whisper, "Yes, Travis, 1,000 times yes." Travis put the ring on her finger. The diamond looked great with her beautiful eyes. As they hugged, the sound of their laughter filled the house. Travis woke up the next morning to the smell of coffee and the soft humming of Taylor in the kitchen. He walked up to her and put his arms around her behind. He said, "Good morning, fiancé," in her ear, which made her laugh. "Good morning," she said as she turned around to face him. "I've been thinking about the wedding." Travis said, "Me too. How about a wedding in the summer? Nothing too public, maybe in the mountains." Taylor had big, happy eyes. "I love it," she said. "Let's set a date." The rest of the morning was spent coming up with ideas, and their laughter filled the house. The date was finally set for late July, a lovely summer night under the stars. At the mimosa party where they got engaged, Travis knew that this was just the start of their happily ever after. He was excited to spend the rest of his life with the woman he loved. Their love story was like a fairy tale come true. As the sun went down in late summer, it cast a warm glow over Arrowhead Stadium. Right there on the 50-yard line, Kansas City Chiefs star tight end Travis Kelce stood with his heart racing. But today wasn't game day. It wasn't that, this was something much more important. The stadium lights went out, and a spotlight shone on the road that led to him. A person came out of the cave, and even in the dim light, her silhouette was clear. He had been dating Taylor Swift for 2 years. As she walked toward him, her eyes were sparkling. He had carefully coordinated with her team for weeks to make sure she was free for this. He wasn't just getting married, he was making a promise of love to the woman he had spent so much of his life with. He took a deep breath as she reached out and put her hand on his. "Travis," she asked in a whisper, "what's all this?" He smiled and took out a small velvet box. "Taylor," he said first, his voice heavy with emotion. "I love you more than words can say. Thank you for making my life so much better. I can't picture living another day without you." There was no sound from the stadium as he got down on one knee. Instead, he could hear his own beating. "Taylor Allison Swift," he asked, his voice loud and clear, "will you marry me?" Taylor let out a gasp and put her hand to her mouth. She started to cry, but they were happy tears. "Yes," she said in a whisper, 1,000 times yes. He put the ring on her finger. It was an emerald-cut diamond that sparkled in the stadium lights. The moment they hugged was stuck in time, and the empty stands watched on. The date was set for Taylor's birthday, December 13th. On a day that already meant a lot to them, it was the right way to celebrate their love. As the news spread, fans went crazy with joy. The Kelce Swift wedding was the talk of the town. It was like a fairy tale love story taking place in the middle of football country.